Jermaine. How you doing? Yeah, I know, without the mask. I'm very pissed off today. Okay, so on Monday, July 1st, 2024, regular day of thinking, we start the day off, we go to my sister-in-law's funeral, you know, we go through everything, dinner, everything, boom. We get home, and my children want to, you know, burn. Like, hey, can we burn? They want to, you know, everybody's unwinding, cool. So I know that in Ohio, they put the burn ban on, that you cannot burn before 6 p.m. So 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. you cannot do any burning in city limits. But 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. you can. We go out, I think it was 7:21 p.m., something like that. And boom, I get a fire started. We're going, we're enjoying, we're burning. Debris that I had left over, that actually the city code enforcer came by and had told me I had to get rid of. And I said, okay, well, you know, because of the burn ban, work hours, stuff, boom. Never once did he tell me I'm not able to burn. So as we're burning, blah, blah, blah. The wind shifts. Some smoke. And it wasn't even a billow of smoke, you know, like, because it wasn't even a high fire. It was, see, my barrel's 4 foot. It was probably 4.5 feet to 5 feet tall. Like I said, from the barrel itself is about 4 feet. And then you had the flame, you know, that comes up. So I'm going to even give it 5 feet just to be generous. So this woman comes outside, or she was outside, I don't know, whatever it was. She comes around. Never met her in my life. I've lived here. I bought this house in 2021. Never met her, never talked to her, nothing. Never even seen her before. I promise you, never seen her before. Wait, let me correct that. I did. She was out mowing her lawn 2 days ago, I believe. I seen her then because I was cutting down trees. I have a bunch of trees, and I was cutting down trees and stuff, especially to get them ready to burn. So she comes out and starts screaming, saying that the embers from my 5-foot fire traveled 150 feet, yes, and hit her house. And she said, so she'll come over and burn my house down. Now, I was like, wait, first of all, I've never talked to this woman before, ever. The reason I bought my house, this house, 2 reasons. One, it was a 5-bedroom, and it's 5 of us, me and my 4 children. So I wanted everyone to have their own room. We lived in public housing for 9 years. Boom, we wanted our own, you know what I mean? Now I have my house again, and we doing this. So, we burned it. So I thought, you know, I'm like, fuck you now. I did. I told her, fuck you. You could have came and asked nicely. It would have been a whole different scenario. So there's arguing, fuss. She's on the phone with somebody. I guess some dude she was trying to get to come over and be tough or whatever. And I laugh at her. So she decides, she calls the fire department to her house. Fire department comes. She lies. Oh, the fire, yeah, my fire traveled 150 feet. Okay? Minimum. Okay? Because there's no house here on the corner. Then there's a house here. and then her house is over here. So if you give me 30, 60, 90 diagonal from the back, we're like 150 feet away. So we continue, burning, getting that stuff going, booming. They like when it gets down, the smoldering, just whatever, and they like to roast the marshmallows. That's what they like to do, just like if it was a barbecue. So the fire department come, they say, "Oh, what's going on?" I said, "That's what I'd like to know." So they go, "Oh, you got to put that out." I said, "Why?" He says, "Oh, there's no burning in Youngstown, the city of Youngstown. You can't burn in the city." I said, "That's not what it says. It says I can't burn from 6 p.m. From 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. That is what they said." "No, that's not what it, the mayor, he said that you can't burn." "When?" I don't know, a long time ago." I said, "Okay, well, may you please cite me the ordinance so I can be in compliance?" "I don't know the ordinance." "Okay, may you look it up for me?" "No, I'm not going to look it up. I'm just going to do what I'm told." "Who told you that?" "The fire chief told me that." I said, "Well, may you ask the fire chief to give you the ordinance that states there's no burning, zero burning in the city of Youngstown." "No, they're not going to. So I don't know what to tell you." Then, boom. So I look up the ordinance. Well, the ordinance that's listed has nothing about no burning. It says all the reasons how you can burn. Boom. I read it to the fireman sitting there. The other fireman was looking it up on his phone, right? And he couldn't find it. They think I can't hear because they're 50 feet away. And they think I can't hear them. And he's like, "Oh yeah, no, there's nothing." They know I'm in compliance. But now it's their ego. So now they call the police because they try to come on. I said, "You cannot come on my property. You're not allowed. This is my private property. You are not allowed on it." So they stood on the outskirts and they brought a hose. And I said, "You're not going to do anything. You." Boom. So as they said, so ask him question. Well, I said, "Now why?" He said, "The chief again." I said, "So you just, how are you telling me you're enforcing the law that you don't even know what the law is, right? Like, please." And then you refusing to look it up just to tell me so I know, And so as things go on, of course, so they call the police, right? So my children are already kind of like, well, I said, "Don't worry." So I'm asking, I said, "Well, do you just follow orders with impunity, like without impunity, just do whatever?" "Yes, I do." I said, "So if the chief told you to kill Donald Trump, would you do it?" And they looked at each other, looked at me, and they had no answer. Well, of course the answer was no, but they can't, once again, ego. So now we got their ego versus my ego, and of course who's going to lose? But it doesn't matter. When I'm right, I'm right. I never argue anything I don't know what I'm talking about, ever. So the police come. The one sergeant walks through. "Hey, what's going on?" I said, "That's what I'd like to know." He goes, "Oh, well, you can't burn because the same thing that the fire people saying." Well, first, let me start again. Sorry. When the officer first came, I thought he was a reasonable person, which I should have known with the officer word he's not a reasonable person. He comes in, and I guess it turns out he was a sergeant, which is even worse in my eyes. You're a sergeant. You supervise people. And you don't want to get it right? So he comes over. "Hey, how you doing? What's going on?" I said, "Yeah." He says, "Yeah." I said, "Well, I asked the fire department. I'm asking you, what's the ordinance?" His exact words were, I don't know the ordinance, but I can look it up. That is exactly what he said. I don't know the ordinance, but I can look it up. I said, great. Thank you, officer. May you please look it up? And he goes, oh, no, I'm not going to look it up. No. I said, wait, you just said you can look it up. He said, yeah, I can. I'm not going to. There we go, right there. All of a sudden, boom, we're now at an impasse. So why'd you tell me you could look it up? So I asked, I said, well, why won't you look it up? So automatically he goes, you know what? If I go look it up, I'm writing you a ticket. So I said, okay. I told him that. Okay, please look it up. I will take the ticket. I want to know how I'm not in compliance. You see what I'm saying? It could be an expensive lesson, but at least it's something I know. Okay? I learned, I understand. Because I know what I read. I know what's in every ordinance. When I read the city ordinance, everything. When I read the state ordinance, everything. I never seen no ban in Youngstown other than 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. So he starts coming up. I said, excuse me, you can't come on my property. I'm not doing anything with you. You can tell me what it is. So he comes, no, and he starts reaching for his cuffs for a ticket. He says, I'm going to give you a ticket. I said, no, that's not what you told me. You told me if you look it up, you were issuing me a ticket. You did not look it up. He goes, well, I need your information. No, you don't need my information to look it up. Look it up. I will give you all my information. I agreed I would take the ticket if you look it up. They knew they were lying, so of course he wouldn't look it up. So then he comes, oh, well, I said, why? Tell me why. And then we get to the true answer. Gets his chest up. Because I said so. And I said, well, who are you? And then I stopped myself. I laughed. And I stopped myself. Like, because, you know, if he showed me who he is, I'm either getting killed or I'm going to jail. But, I'm wondering, like, you didn't say, well, because here's the rule you're breaking. Here's the law you're breaking. Here's the ordinance you're breaking. Because it's the law. He could have said that. He said no. Because I said so. Now, me knowing my rights, and that's what it is. The problem is they don't want people who know their rights. You know what I'm saying? So, after we get to the going to all this, then another officer comes. Now, of course, he all steroid up, so he's ready for something. What is going on here? This is a simple, y'all got 4 firemen and 2 policemen here for a simple thing where, just like the firemen, I asked you, just look up the ordinance. I looked up the ordinance and read it to them. No, that's Ohio law. That's not Youngstown. This is in Youngstown. This says Youngstown. What are you talking about? Boom. So then I read them the text message I got from the code enforcement. Okay? All ignored. Because now they're just pissed because I know my rights. And when you know your rights, they get extra mad. So now they're going, So my children starting to freak out because he's reaching for his handcuffs like he's ready to arrest me and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, no, look it up and give me the ticket. I totally agreed. If he looked it up, I would take the ticket. Of course, he would not look it up because it was not true. So finally, I was like, okay, whatever. So I go grab my hose to put out the fire. He snatches the hose out my hand. No, the fire department got to put it out. I said, why? Well, because they asked you to put it out and you didn't put it out, so now they got to put it out. Huh? So they asked me to put it out, but now you're telling me I can't put it out. Well, they're already here. Okay, what does that mean? You wanted the fire out. Why should it matter who puts the fire out? If the fire is out, it's out. But like I said, it was nothing about the fire anymore. It was not about anything, because it was just about me, a black man, asking this white sergeant what the law was. And I'm not putting it, saying he's racist or whatever it is. I'm pretty sure it is. But look at the reality of the situation. Okay? Look at the reality of the situation. Why are we here? When you said out of your mouth, and I didn't offer, he says, I don't know the ordinance, but I can look it up. That's what he said. He didn't say, I don't know the ordinance, and I'm not going to look it up. Oh, well, this is what the ordinance, his word, unprovoked, anything from me. I said, well, what's the ordinance? That was my question. He says, I don't know the ordinance, but I can look it up. I said, oh, great, thank you, officer. And this is the grace. I said, thank you, officer. Please look it up so y'all can. And he looked, I'm not going to look it up. Wait, what? You just said you can. Yeah, I can. I'm not going to. Now, why? As a police officer, if someone is breaking the law, and that's what they kept saying in the law, it's not our job to tell you what the law is. I understand, but I read the law, and I'm telling you what the law says. So if I'm interpreting it wrong, tell me. Right? Why make escalate when you could just simply give me information? Because y'all all came with lies, and now you got to cover up your lie. Okay, this is Youngstown. These judges and everybody is just going to take what the police say, no matter how corrupt they were. Y'all remember, this was a big mob town. Okay, the corruption in Youngstown is huge. Okay, and the police who've been bullied in school, who getting them now, this is rampant in Youngstown. Okay, so now he comes to whatever, boom, 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 boom. Well, if you don't let them put it out, you're getting the ticket. Okay, I said, I'm okay with, give me the ticket. So now all of a sudden, I'm in handcuffs. You want to bring the car out? Why are you putting me in handcuffs and putting me in a squad car to write me a ticket? I've been pulled over many times. I have driving in suspensions that I've been pulled over for, that I didn't get handcuffed and put in the back of a squad car while they wrote me a ticket. I have speeding tickets. I've never heard of being handcuffed, and that was to show his power, because he sees my children crying and nigging, so he feels, oh yeah, let me traumatize these children and show them, so when they grow up, because at the end he told them, oh, I hope you don't teach your children to hate the police. That is what he told me. I said, that's exactly what I'm going to teach them. But to also be careful and be wary of you. But they seen what, and then my daughter told me later, she was like, when he was like, look what you're doing to your children, I was like, no, look what you're doing. Like, I was laughing when she told me that, because that's what I'm thinking when he said it. Like, what am I doing to my children? I'm teaching them to their rights. We have marches on Selma and things of that nature, sit-ins and everything for these rights that people who look like him didn't want people who look like me to have. And now when he sees that I'm showing my children that what's right is right, they don't like that. They want people to be ignorant of the law and do what they say. Because the officer told me, okay, he says, even if we're wrong, you do what we say. He literally said, now, he took my phone and turned it off. I said, why are you taking my phone? And turn it off. That's destruction of evidence. I'm recording you. You have no right to my property and turn my phone, my video off. Okay? Talk about, oh, well, we're getting recorded. I don't care. Y'all got access to that. You can alter that and edit it and make it whatever you want. So, we'll get back to the timeline. So now they're taking me to the car in handcuffs, right, to write me a ticket. On the audience, they have no idea what it is. I sat in that hot-ass squad car for about 15 to 20 minutes. Okay? I asked him to roll down the window because my sarcoidosis and everything, I have the nodes in my lungs. My breathing capacity is down. I've just been I go to physical therapy for my shoulders and my neck. I don't know if some of you really seen my fall when I had back in November. I had a horrible whiplash and everything. Excuse me. I go to physical therapy here for that. So now I'm handcuffed with, I can't hardly even put it around. And my shoulder is killing me. And I'm okay, boom. So I asked him, can you roll down the window, please? Because I explained to him, I said, I have sarcoidosis, my thing, I can barely breathe in here. And I'm sweating profusely, because he's got me sitting in the... So he says, okay, sure, he comes in and cracks the window. I'm in the back of the squad car with bars. He cracks the window. He goes, oh, I'm going to open this, but what I'm going to ask you to do is not go yelling. When have I been yelling? I've been talking to y'all calmly and nicely this whole time. My children wanted to talk to me, and you know what I mean? They couldn't hear me through the glass. So I'm like, okay, no problem. This is too far. I said, no, I'm fine. That's okay. So he rolls it down, boom, boom, boom. So while I'm talking to my children, we're talking and everything, and I explained to them. I said, so let me explain something to y'all. This is what I tell y'all all the time. Your actions have consequences. These are my actions, and these are my consequences. So I want y'all to understand this, that this is why I tell you I don't just talk. I live my words. I don't lie. There's not one of you out there, if any of you ever read this with me, can say, oh, you know what? Jermaine lied to me about this. Or I remember Jermaine lied about that. You can't do it. Because I don't do it. But when you confront the liars with the truth, they become defensive. You know this in your life. So now I'm in here, boom, 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 and he's still just running all this stuff, boom, boom, and he's looking. He's still searching. He wrote the ticket out. He got everything filled out except for my violation. Why? Because they have no idea what my violation was. They have no idea what it was. And they're searching and searching and searching and searching. And finally, now he's reading the exact same ordinance that I read to the fire department. The exact same thing. Okay? So he goes, then he goes, Eureka. Here it is. So the sergeant comes back and he's like, yeah, well, he goes, I don't think. Now I'm already in handcuffs in the car with the ticket written, but no violation. I don't think he's 25 feet from his own house. What? Yeah, that's what the ordinance had. It had for 3 different states. You had different things. So of course they went with the highest one. So as to where my violation was. Because if it's for recreation, it's supposed to be like 15 feet or whatever. If it's just burning, whatever, that's 25 feet. And then it's another one. I forget what it was. So they took the 25 feet one. Because now they figured, boom. So that's when the sergeant goes, oh, let me go see. I'm going to walk it off. I said, walk it off? I said, are your feet 12 inches long? So the other officer said, that was the sergeant who says he's doing the walk-off. So the officer says, well, most people's feet, the average person, their feet is about 12 inches long or foot long. I said, my children are average people, their feet are on their foot long. What's that shoes about? I don't understand how. So I said, so now you're going to charge me for an approximation. I said, are you going to get out and measure it? Of course not. So the officer comes back. He goes, it's about only 18 feet. Now we got him. So I asked, I said, well, officer, may you go, when this is done, could you go stand by the barrel so I can record so that when I measure it with my tape measurement, you can't say I moved it afterwards or whatever, so this way you be here to... No, I can't do that. Why? You want me to believe because he walked and said it was 18 feet? So, okay, so now you got me. So he writes on the ticket, then this is what is written. On the first day of July, 2024, knowingly burned, then he put fire in parentheses, within 25 feet of a structure, did so without a permit. That is what my ticket is. So what happened to this? No, you're not allowed to burn at all in Youngstown. It's zero burning in city limits. What happened to that? That's what you came here for. That's what you told me. But of course, they knew they were wrong, so now they come up with this. I said, okay, go ahead, write me the ticket. Go ahead, we'll go. Oh yeah, I can put you in jail. I'm asking you to write me the ticket. You're still giving me more BS and BS. So, it's just going on and on and on and on. Like, I think the whole thing ended up being like an hour, probably hour and a half long. And then well, it's not ours, it's your job to know the ordinance, not ours. I said, I did know the ordinance. This is what I was telling you from the jump street. There is no ban in Youngstown unless it's 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's it. That is what you came here telling me, that I was burning. You didn't know nothing about the feet. You never once did any distance come into effect. Because at first he tried to say, here, right here, if any smoke or whatever. I said, okay, when you arrived here, how much smoke did you see? 0. With fire in the barrel, no smoke. So he couldn't get me on that. He goes, okay, let's see here. Oh, here we go. And then he starts reading them. Like I said, you can see. And he's like, Eureka. And he starts seeing the distances. And that's what they decide to cite me with. So, here's my question. What was you writing my ticket on? You wrote the whole ticket on, and then you had to look up the ordinance. Which, guess what happened? I asked you to look up the ordinance in the first place. You see what I'm saying? The end result was you doing what I asked you to do in the beginning, which would have ended all of this. All of it. And yes, people say, well, that's something puny. You should have just did it. No, I shouldn't just do it. Because once you give up your rights a little bit, they'll take them all. They'll take them all. It starts with one. That's how a snowball effect is. And I'm never going to give up my rights. I don't care what the Supreme Court said. Trump can do whatever the fuck he wants. And when he gets in, he's going to try to take away all our rights, if he gets in. But the point is, right now, I have a constitution that's over me, that's over the police, that's over the fire department, and over all these people. Then he's going to get mad because I just recently had a dumpster and then I had to remove. So I put my other van in the grass next door so we could facilitate the dumpster. So at the end, when we're leaving, I'm like, okay, thank you. Have a good day. Have a Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy 4th. Like this, I'm just running down like every and he's getting pissed. You can see in his face how upset. And he goes, and I just want you to know I'm not going to do it, but this vehicle over here cannot be here. It has to be in your driveway. And blah, 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 blah. Okay, thank you. I'm just telling you. I said, thank you. Okay, I got you. So then I said, I have the receipts. And I can tell you, I just had a dumpster here. I moved the van so the dumpster can be here so I can clean out and get in compliance with the code department. I read them the message from the code department. Never once did the code department say, oh no, you can't burn. Because that's what I had, wood in the back. And he told me I had a pile of wood and stuff from work from the house. And it wasn't, I couldn't fit it all in the dumpster. And once we finished, because I only got a 10 yard one. I didn't think I needed like the 20 yard. But as it finished, I'm like, oh shoot. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to pay that. I'll just burn it. What the heck? The children will have fun. I can have a good time. Family stuff. All you bonfires, all that stuff. So now we get to the situation where the reason I'm saying this. Like, I don't understand why they have to escalate all the time. Why are the police not willing to do something that they end up doing in the end? He had to look up the ordinance to write me the ticket. Why could he not have just looked it up in the first place? When I asked him, when he said out of his mouth, I don't know the ordinance, but I can look it up. And then then the sergeant, of course, he handed it off to the officer, right? The officer is the one who wrote the ticket, did all this bullshit. The sergeant did nothing. The sergeant who was first on scene, first in my face, first to threaten me with the ticket, first to try to, the only one to snatch the hose out of my hand, but he didn't write the ticket. He didn't know. He comes back later and goes, well, what's the ordinance? And then the officer had to read it to him. Because none of them knew. And not one of them, like I said, my ticket does not say burning when it's banned. Nowhere does it say that. Because that's what the whole reason for them being there was. Them telling me that there was zero burning in Youngstown city limits. Zero. All they had to do, they all had the one, like I said, the fire guy, fireman, whatever you want to call him, fire person. I don't know what they're doing with pronouns now. He's there reading it. He sees nowhere in it. He says it. Well, and then the other guy, the black guy comes. But then here comes the white buffed up dude again. It's just the steroids, I think. I don't know. Here he comes. He's a fireman. He's not a police officer. But they knew when I told them, this is my private property. You are not allowed to come on here. And then they stopped. They stood in the property next door. Well, not next door, but around the corner behind. Because like I said, there's no properties. Like that's why I bought my house. Like I said, because I have zero neighbors. And this is why I don't like neighbors. Because you cause strife in my home because you're a miserable bitch. Okay? If you knew how to talk to people, you would have a better life. You see what I'm saying? Never met this woman ever. Ever. I've only seen her the one time. Like I said, I forgot about that until I just remembered 2 days ago when I was cutting down trees and stuff and she was out mowing her grass. That was the only time I've ever seen this woman. And now, like I said, I built my house in 2021. And I overpaid because I had no neighbors. Seriously. Just because I had no neighbors. Yet here we go again. Across the street is a doctor's office. No neighbors. On the corner is the doctor's office and the mayor's headquarters. Like that's what I'm like, wait, it's the mayor's headquarters And that's what they kept saying. Well, you can call the mayor in the morning. You can call the mayor tomorrow. I said, but you're telling me about, you're trying to tell me an ordinance about today. Not tomorrow. You're not talking about coming to put out the fire tomorrow. You're talking about today. And that's what's wrong with these people. And then he's going to tell me, oh, well, don't move your hand after I handcuff you. I was okay. I said, no, I'm not going to move. You think I want to get shot today? I don't want to get killed. I'm not going to kill you. I said, yeah, right. I don't know what, he said, when do police do? That's what he said, when do police do? In all my years, I've never, I said, there's a first time for everything. Ain't that what they say? I would never, there's no, I said, George Floyd? And then he just looked at me. Because he was like, when does a ticket ever turn into a killing? I said, George Floyd? And then he looked at me and he like, well, I don't know about them. And I said, but you have the shield. Y'all the same, in my eyes. So he goes, now even if you attacked me, I probably wouldn't have shot you. I probably just hit you back. And I laughed at him. Because he's looking at me, because he's a buff steroid dude. Like, and I laugh at him like, okay, you think you're going to hit me back? If I was to hit you, what makes you think you're going to have a chance to hit me back? I would never hit him. You know what I mean? Why would I do that? I don't hit regular people on the street first. You have to hit me first. Because you have to have a chance to get away, because then I'm going to fuck you up. So, it just was ridiculous. Everything was just this power trip from the beginning. And it's kind of both sides. But the only problem was my side was right. I wasn't fighting with ignorance. I wasn't fighting even with defiance, because I wasn't in non-compliance. And when you tell me, listen, even if the police is wrong, if we tell you to do something, you do it. What? No, our Constitution says we do not have to follow unlawful orders. You did not give me a lawful order. If you would have said, well, oh, this order, even after the fire department read it, he could have looked and judged for himself. And I asked him, I said, are you a volunteer fireman, or did you go to classes, or did you something? You know, like, I don't understand how you are trying to enforce something that you have no idea what it is. And then, like I said, the police come and you're doing the exact same thing instead of doing the right thing. We got this black man over here who knows his rights. We can't have that. We trying to make America great again. Remember that? Well, guess when? It was never great for this. So, this went longer than I expected it to. I thought I could run the story through quick, but it's just so mind-boggling how these police will come and do what they do because they wrong. They are wrong. And like I said, I read the ticket. Knowingly, how did I know I was not within 25 feet of my house? Please explain that to me. When you didn't know it by looking at it. Your sergeant had to walk it off. You assumed it wasn't, and that was your gotcha. Wait a second, we're not going to use the 15-foot one. No, we got to use the 25-foot one. And I went and measured, and it was 19 feet. Like almost exactly 19 feet. The reason it was 19 feet is because when I read the ordinance, I attributed myself to the 15-foot statute. And so I went over to make sure I'd be in compliance. I didn't look at and I probably didn't read the rest. I just kept reading for bands. I didn't read past my situation. You see what I'm saying? So even when I read it and seen 25, that wasn't attributed to me, because that one is for recreational burning. You see what I'm saying? This was more therapeutic. My children wanted to burn, and you know what I mean? Like I said, we just came. Then we get that, and we're talking, and I forget somehow why I mentioned it. I'm like, dude, I'm not just, my sister's funeral was today, and I'm so sorry to hear that. Sorry for your loss. And I looked at her. I said, no, you're not. No, you're gonna sit there and lie to me. Like, oh, what you mean? I'm not sorry for it. I'm not. As a human being and courtesy. I said, courtesy? You just had me in handcuffs and giving me a ticket. Where's the courtesy? Now it's courtesy. Now everything's gonna. And he just, well, I would think. He said, if I told you about me and someone in mine died, you went to. I said, I would not. I said, I don't know you. I don't know. How am I sorry for your loss? I don't know what your loss is. I'm not a hypocrite. Oh, well, that's just the thing. I said, right, and that's the thing. And some of you who see my Facebook posts know that's just the thing. It's just like when someone dies, they go, oh, anything I can do, let me know. Because it's a natural response. Somebody sneezes, say bless you. I say bless you. And I don't believe in any gods or any, blessings. But it's instilled in us to lie to people. I don't do that. As I told you in the beginning of it, I don't lie. I'm not sorry for your loss. I'm not. I said, right now, if you think Donald Trump died, you think I'll be sorry to his family for his loss? He goes, well, that's different. That's different. How is that different? It's not different. Oh, well, just as a human being. I said, don't tell me no human being stuff. You just sitting here making my children cry and everything. Put me in handcuffs. I said, when have y'all ever put somebody in handcuffs and put them in the back of his car for a ticket? You were trying to send a message to my children. And then you're going to say, well, I hope you don't teach them to hate the police. I said, that's exactly what I'm teaching them. But I also teach them to be wary and be careful and know, you're right. I didn't say the know your rights part when I was talking to him, which I wish I would have thought of it at the time. But I am teaching him that. I told him that's why, and I told him, I said, these are my actions and this is my consequences. It doesn't mean my consequences were bad. My consequences were that I got to expose these people, these militants, these people who are going to be perfectly fine. I guarantee you when they go down in November, they're going to click that R on Trump. Guaranteed you. Even though he sent people to kill other police officers, they are going to back because they want the power that he's going to allow them to hunt us down. When they call my children kids, look at the kids. I said, they're not kids. They're children. Don't call them kids. See, you want to desensitize and make them an animal. Kid is a baby goat. You're going to call my children kids so you can hunt them down? Sorry, but I'm not for that. So what I say is, know your rights. Don't let them bully you in your rights. I don't care if I have to pay the $500 bill or whatever. I don't care. It's a small price to pay to show that I stand up for me and my rights. This is why when y'all hear me talk about my fear of Trump and all this and stuff like this, imagine this on an epic scale, on a national scale. Be wary. Teach yourself. I wish I would have known and thought about starting to record in the beginning, because it was a whole, and like I said, he's going to take my phone and turn it off and turn off the recording. You can't do that. He searched me. I said, I did not consent to a search. If I'm not under arrest, I did not consent to a search. He goes, oh, I didn't search you. I patted you. You literally reached your hand in my pocket and grabbed my lighter out. How is that not a search? That's not a pat down. You could have pat me down all you want. You went in my pocket and retrieved my lighter. You snatched my phone out of my hand, and then you turned it off, my recording, put it away. See, they'll take your rights away. I have complete freedom of speech. And I have complete freedom to record the police and anyone else in public or private on my property. Because when he spit on my property, and I told him, don't you spit on my property. He backed up and he didn't do it again. This is my property, private property. I was not breaking any law for you to even be able to come on my property and try to enforce something. And like I said, when has anyone been handcuffed, taken to the squad car, put in the back to write a ticket? I don't know, maybe it's different for people who's at home than if you're driving in your car. I have millions of tickets. I got I think 54 driving under suspensions. Like, seriously. I never once was put in the back of a squad car, handcuffed, while they wrote me a ticket. And reminded often, oh, I could arrest you. What, on what? You don't even know what the ordinance is. But once he read it, now, wait, this is an M3. Oh, I can arrest you. And I said, okay. But I'm not going to. I said, thank you, officer. He said nothing. Blah, blah, blah. So then at the end, when we're back onto this decency, when he's talking about, oh, I'm sorry for you. Oh, you come. I said, well, I thank you for not arresting me. I said, did you say thank you? And he looked, and he goes, oh, I did say thank you. I said, you did not. He said, yeah, I said, what did he say? That's fine, or something. He didn't say you're welcome. He said something like, no problem. That's what he said. I said, you did not say, well, you might not have heard me. What? Because you know you didn't say it. Like, one lie perpetuates the next, to the next, to the next. I know my rights. I know my limits. I know, because you have to make up stuff to come, because like I said, you wrote the ticket before you even knew what the ordinance was. That means you was writing me a ticket no matter what. If the ordinance came all the way through and I did, you would have said, oh wait, right here it said that, an ant can't be crawling across the lawn. Like, something. He would have found something because he already wrote the ticket. And it's on that duplicate, that copy paper. So it's already in there. He can't just rip out his ticket book and say, oh, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. When you write out a ticket without even knowing what you're charging me with, you're charging me automatically. No matter who, what, when, or why, you are going to find something to do it. That's just, am I wrong? Think about the logic of that. You can't erase it. It's on duplicate paper. You wrote it out. You filled out every part of the ticket except for my violation. Because there was no violation until he went with the different statute. That didn't apply to me. I was not recreationally burning. I wasn't having the bonfire out here. I wasn't having drinks and chilling, smoking, or nothing. I was trying to get in compliance with the code, Youngstown Code Department, the housing code. He said I had to get rid of the power. And that's what I was doing. And because their ego, they came ready for battle. You don't come that deep for no reason. You don't fill out a ticket without even knowing what you're charging me with, unless you're gonna charge me with anything. You're gonna make up something. So please do your due diligence. Make sure if you're gonna do something, you read, like his cop said, he said, it's your job to know the ordinance, not mine. He literally said that. Like, they have body camera. I don't know how to do that, like to get the releases and stuff. If anybody knows, please let me know, because I want to get it and I definitely want to post it. This way you'll have the whole story, because there's always two sides to every story. You know what I mean? So right now you're only getting my story. They're not going to be on and tell you their story, but let's let their camera, which we see throughout years with YouTube, what those cameras show us for real. Who's really behind those cameras. And I tell people all the time, because people go, I say, well, you got to remember, yes, he's a police officer, but he's a person. He's a human being. And when your emotions take over, your position don't matter. When your pride gets in the way, that shield, he don't remember that shield. All he remembers that shield does is, what does a shield do? That's why police wear a shield, because they're protected. They're blocked. Whatever they want to do. We've seen it. They'll murder us in the middle of the street. Oh, I know he was running away unarmed, but I felt threatened. So I'm going to kill him. Oh, wait, the white dude who coming out here shooting at us? Oh, the one who's standoff, the one who's in the school shooting? He's alright, he's not dangerous. We're going to arrest him. This guy got a fake $5 bill! Oh, he's dangerous! Let's kill him! And you know why they do that? Because we are so programmed not to vote them out. We are so programmed that voting don't work for us, so we're not going to do it. And they know that. Every other nationality get out there and they vote. That's why they don't get hunted down. Because they know they lose their jobs. This is why I stress to y'all all the time, get out there and vote. Don't just vote for president. You got to vote for a mayor who establishes the chief of police. You got to vote for the sheriff. You got to vote for the judges. You got to vote for prosecutors. You got to vote for all these people, the clerk of courts. You got to vote for the engineer, like everything. You have to vote for them. Your governor, your councilman, your city councilman people, your governor, your senators, everywhere. We vote these people. And when we start showing them that we're going to use our power that our ancestors fought and died for, you will see a change. They don't fear us because we do not give them their job. Or we don't take their job from them. We give them their job by not voting. And then the people who feel as they feel, who think we should be hunted, they vote for the people who are going to hunt us. So, I just wanted to give y'all this rundown. It was so much crazier, but I'm just really upset. It's 3:06 a.m. right now. This, like I said, this happened between probably about 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. somewhere around. Let me see if he wrote the time on this thing. I don't see a time listed on here. Yeah, there's no time listed on here. They said my violation code was 1511.05, which is a misdemeanor of the 3rd degree. Which, like I said, was made up because, well, no, not made up. And I can see if he would have said, well, I don't think you're 25 feet in compliance. Over it. Oh, sorry, officer. And then, like I said, I wanted to put out the fire. He told me I can't now. Snatches the hose out of my hand. I thought you wanted the fire out. Once again, no, he wants his power. Because I said so. So please, know your rights. If you're going to do anything, read up on it. Read what, because it's important. This is, even if this didn't happen, I would still give this advice. Because that's what I did. I read up on it. I read the ordinance to the fire department. I read because I knew I was in compliance. I knew I wasn't doing anything wrong. But sometimes you forget that being black is wrong to some people. You forget being any regular citizen who knows their rights is wrong to people who want to be tyrants, to people who want to insert their will because I said so. They want to insert their will on you. Know your rights and don't give in. You might think it's small, and that's what they kept saying. Oh, this is, you went so well. I'll go all the way to the Supreme Court if I have to. I mean, I know then I'm going to shut down. They're all conservatives. But my point is, my rights, I'm going to fight for them. No matter what your threats are, no matter what your intimidation is, you are not going to make me being compliant to you. You are not the law. You are law enforcement. You are not the law. So when you learn that you have to enforce laws, you can't create laws, then maybe people will have a better view of your position. People won't treat y'all the way like you're the enemy. But you have to stop being the enemy. It doesn't work where you just go, you know what? All that stuff they do to us is good. I'm okay with that. Well, I'm not. And I never will be. My ideal is that this should get thrown out because he said that's what his vote was, knowingly burned. Knowingly. You didn't even know it was 25 feet away. You just came up with it because that's what Bing hit when you finally read the ordinance that I asked you to read in the beginning. If one person, even if there's ex-police, anybody out there, current police, can tell me why he couldn't have just looked up the ordinance that he had to look up to give me the ticket. It's almost like talking to my children. When I'm like, well, you're going to have to do it anyway, so why not do it? You know, so, I don't know. This just really got me stressed. So, I got court on the 3rd, so we'll see how that goes. Like I said, I don't know if they still let you, like, talk to the prosecutor before you go in and stuff like that. It's been a long time since I've been in court. Way before COVID, so I know a lot of protocols changed. So I'm not sure. We'll see. I'll give you all an update on that day. An update. Ooh, see, I said an update. And I hope you're doing well. Know your rights. Please get out and vote. It's a scary world. All right. Thank you. I'm Jermaine. Check 1, 2. I'm out of here.